So today I want to share with you guys how I went from fat to fit in under 1 year. That's right, it was a pretty fast transformation, and today I want to share with you my very own fat loss tips. This is the top things I'd recommend to any client that steps in the gym. Number one is nutrition. The two biggest differences, believe it or not, from these pictures is the one on the left, I wasn't tracking my calories. The one on the right, I was tracking my calories. In terms of working out, I stuck to pretty much roughly the same push-pull legs, upper body, lower body split. My workouts didn't really change. The only thing that changed massively was the nutrition. So what I mean by that is, before photo I was in a big calorie surplus, because if you didn't know, most gym bros throw out the phrase, they're like dirty bulk, which is basically just means you're eating anything in sight. Good, bad, healthy, like nutritious, that doesn't really matter. The main goal was just to get big, which to be honest with you, I did put on weight. But it was probably like a little bit of muscle and a lot of fat, which is not ideal. So yeah, I started out with a lot of excess body fat to get rid of because I was in a calorie surplus. So what I needed to do was be in a calorie deficit. So the first thing I would recommend is make small adjustments. So the first thing I did, I would basically just try to clean out my diet. By that I mean non-saturated foods. Instead of basically getting McDonald's after a gym session, I would go home and make my own like healthy alternative. That's right, I'd make like a healthy chicken burger and chips. Basically, yeah, anything over sugary, anything that's basically just not really good for you, I cut out of my diet. And that alone must have lost like a strong 4 or 5 pounds without even really trying, to be honest with you. Because bear in mind I was very big at the time, so any slight deficit I was in would have done bits. But yeah, here's the thing, this is where most people kind of fail when it comes to fat loss. That you always hit a plateau, right? And now this is the most key thing, and this is the most thing that people say they can't be asked to do. And I started tracking my calories. I would recommend tracking your calories, because as soon as I did that after my plateau, the weight loss just boom, like it just didn't stop, you know, because I could track it and measure it out. The way I would recommend it, and I kind of explain it to you guys, is like walking into a gym, blindfolding your face, going up to like a dumbbell rack, and just guessing what weight you're picking up. That was basically how I would like live every day, guessing how much I'm eating and kind of just winging it and being like, yeah, I think I can like eat enough and lose weight still. Like, I wasn't really sure. So as soon as I started to track my calories, the fat loss, boom, it was rapid. Everything was basically calculated and controlled. So I could basically measure how much weight I'm gonna lose in a short period of time and actually do it, kind of thing. So how I did this was I went on a BMI calorie calculator app, which they're pretty easy to come by. I will leave one in the description, like a link in the description for you guys to check out. But yeah, I just typed in my height, weight, basically I think my measurements and my rough activity level. And what this did was it kind of simulated a number, which is a rough guide to how many calories I would need to be in a surplus, be in a maintenance phase, and be in a deficit, which is what you need for fat loss. So yeah, once I found out this number, I downloaded a calorie tracking app. So you can get them on your mobile, they're pretty easy, they're all free. I use LifeSum personally. I just think it's simple, pretty easy. You literally scan a barcode, boom, like there's your food. Pretty damn easy. So yeah, once I set that up, I entered the calories from the BMI app onto the food tracking app. And basically, yeah, I would just track away. But here's the thing, the number from the BMI app, which I noticed wasn't 100% accurate, so it was a couple hundred calories off. So if you guys are doing this at home, bear that in mind, it's not always 100% accurate. But guess what, as soon as you start to like track the calories and you start to kind of implement this into your diet, I promise you guys the fat will fly off. But yeah, here's the number one thing to look out for. This is what I didn't realise at the time. So bear in mind, I must have lost like over a stone in this transformation, yeah? So let's say I start tracking my calories now. 3 weeks go by, the weight's fallen off, but guess what? I am now like near on a stone down from where I started, right? So guess what? I'm not going to need, my calorie surplus, cows, is now void, it's null, because guess what? I'm not the same weight as when I started. So now I'm a lot lighter, which means I needed a lot less fuel. Think of it as a car, for example. If you've got a giant 4x4 Range Rover and you switch to a Mini Cooper, do you think you're going to need the same amount of fuel? Do you think you're going to eat the same amount of fuel? No. This is what most people do wrong. They drop the calories. They will start tracking, but instead of tracking gradually, they will go, alright, I'm going to start, so roughly I'm eating 2,500 calories. I'm just going to start this diet and this harsh cut at around 1,700 calories. But guess what? Now you can't, like, after that initial giant drop of calories, where are you going to go from there, buddy? Like, the only way is back up again. So you don't want to do that. So bear in mind, you probably lose 8 pounds rapidly, yeah. But what happens after 3 weeks of eating very low calories? You're going to either slip up, or you're just going to go like, this is too much, this, like, my energy is down, I can't really work out. And yeah, like, it's just not sustainable. Whereas if you're doing a very slight 200 drops each time, it is so much more sustainable. So like I said, after I hit that plateau, I should have dropped the calories, but instead I panicked and I sped up the like exercise. So I started doing more steps, more more longer working out sessions, which is kind of basically what I would recommend towards the end. So what I mean by that is you can get away with dropping your calories for a long decent period. So bear in mind, like I said, I started at 2,500. The end goal was to get around the lower like 1,800 calories. That was as low as I was willing to go, because after that I would get no returns from anything really. Like I would go around life just tired, fatigued, like not really much energy. You can imagine when I went to work out, it was pretty like horrendous sessions. So yeah, what I should have done really was wait till I get to that point. So wait till I get to the 1,800 calories mark, and then instead of dropping more calories, I could have then upped my activity. But because I kind of did it backwards, it was a lot of yo-yo dieting. So basically what I'm saying, guys, is if you follow the tracking the calories, making the right implements and dropping the calories at the right times, you could 100% achieve a transformation similar to what I did in a shorter space of time, surely. Because bear in mind, guys, I'm older, right? I'm 24 over here. When I started trying to like get in shape, there wasn't a lot of like decent information out there on like the web, you know. Like nowadays, you go down your phone and Instagram, type in like fat loss, and you will have like 100 posts with great information, basically telling you everything that I'm just saying right now, you know, reiterating it. But yeah, back in the day, it wasn't really like that. There was so much kind of like almost just like bad information, because guess what, companies want to sell products, and even though the products don't really, because this is the secret right now to fat loss, guys. Eat less. You know what I mean? How can a company sell that to you? Just eat less, you know? It's quite a hard sell, and that's kind of the bad thing about the fitness industry, is that it is an industry that needs to make money, right? So yeah, that is basically how I went from fat to fit in just under a year.